Okay, this next question has caused a lot of conversation, and so we've got to ask it. Okay, It's trending, it's spicy. Mary asks, what is the Money Guy take on the Robinhood 3% IRA match and their new 3% cashback credit card? It seems hard to pass up as a mutant, but also too good to be true. So what do you guys think?
All right, Brian, let me lay out kind of what's going on here for folks who have maybe been living under a rock, and then I want to kind of get your thoughts on how they should approach it. So Robinhood, this investment company, this trading platform, has come out with this promotion right now that if you roll money into an IRA, if you roll over a 401k or roll over an IRA or put money into their accounts right now, they'll give you a 3% match up until a certain date.
April 30th.
Until April 30th, right? They'll give you a 3% match. So if you move $100 into an IRA, they will give you $3. That's the right math, right? So you scale that up, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million. They're saying there are no caps on this, but after April 30th, it does change. And they're going to give you a 3% match on contributions you make to the account. And that's going to continue on. Now, in the future, when you want to do this, it's going to drop down to 1%. So right now in this April window, it sounds like it's free money. It sounds like if I move my money over, I put my money in here, I'm going to get 3%. Now, there are some catches and some caveats in terms of how long the money has to be there.
Robinhood Gold.
You have to be a member, and it's either $5 a month or $50 a year in order to be able to unlock this benefit, but not incredibly cumbersome to get to. And then there's also this 3% credit card, where essentially they're offering a credit card to, is this to only Gold members as well, where you can get 3% back on all purchases, 3% cash back. And so on the surface,
you can join the wait list to get 3% back. It's not guaranteed.
You can't
you'll
actually
sign up
get the card yet. And so on the surface, this sounds pretty awesome. It sounds like, oh man, this is free money, and the guys love free money. They talk about it all the time. Is this something that I should take advantage of, or is this something that maybe I should have some spidey sense going off on? What say you?
There's a few things that hit me. Look, first, let's go with the positive win here. I love it when competition creates something that changes the marketplace or starts a dialogue, because you know that probably the other retail providers of investments, even the big boys, the Vanguards, the Schwabs, and the Fidelities, they have to be paying attention to what Robinhood is doing, because from a PR standpoint and discussion standpoint, this is everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's all over my Twitter feed. The first thoughts I had is, number one, will this last? We have told cautionary tales because banks and financial institutions for years, decades, have been using bait and switch tactics where they'll, think about high yield savings accounts. I've told you, be careful about chasing the highest yield. If you go to bankrate.com and look at the highest yield, and you're like, man, this one is paying like 0.5% greater than everybody else. I've never heard of them, but they're FDIC insured, and you go do it, and then you might be surprised that 6 months in the future, their rate is half of even what the consistent brands are. So this could potentially be a bait and switch marketing ploy to harvest assets and then go back to something that's more in line with everybody else. But we don't know yet. Not enough time has passed to know if this will stick around. The other thing that I thought about, and I did a deep dive on this, is that I don't know, because this had nothing to do with everything that's just come out here in 2024. I just know Robinhood in the past, when we had the whole GameStop trading issues, and then even before the GameStop issues and the lawsuits with the stock options, and there's been some unfortunate, stress and other things for some users who didn't understand because they were in products that were way too complicated for where they were in their investment knowledge, is that I have known for a long time, because institutional investors talk, and I know some traders and others who work for big organizations, and they talk about it. It's not a secret. And there was even an article that came out in CNBC in 2020 that Robinhood makes its money by the trades that its people place. And here's the crazy thing that you guys probably don't realize is that Robinhood gets to charge a 35% premium to the market makers and those who pay them for their transactions because of the reputation that a lot of the investors that are buying on Robinhood are brand new. They're freshly minted investors. The word dumb money is used way too often, but it does mean that the people are probably a little green. And here's the numbers back in 2020. We haven't updated this. Probably could be a great exercise. This is all from SEC filings. Like if you think about it, Robinhood on a stock trade gets paid like 17 cents for every 100 shares. Schwab was 11 cents. That's like 35%. Options. There's a reason they're pushing options is because that's like high 50 cents, like 58 cents for every 100 shares versus Schwab. It was like low 30s. It was like a 37, 38% premium they were charging. This all leads me to say, and I'll give you the analogy of Hansel and Gretel. You know, we all know this childhood story where you had this house made of candy and baked goods and other things to attract children. And then once they got in, the witch essentially was trying to put the kids into the oven to eat them. So they lured them in to turn them into the product. And that's kind of what Robinhood, to a degree, has done in the past to make money, is that you are the product. It's kind of back to I'll use the Rounders saying, if you sit down at a table and you don't know who the fish is at the poker table, you're the fish. So, and with all that said, I'm not against Robinhood because this is not the only financial institution that does this where you, the person, are the product and your trades and getting access to you is the product. Credit card companies do the exact same thing. They give you all these incentives. They give you all these rewards and cash back and everything else and trading vouchers to get you in, because there's this whole jeopardizing thing of paying 20 to 25, 30% interest rates on it. They also are not noble causes that they're offering you these rewards and trading. So as long as you go in, your eyes have to be wide open. I mean, don't do this while you're half asleep because you'll get yourself in a bad situation. But if you go into it with your eyes wide open, there's definitely some opportunities here. But I'm sitting back and waiting because I think it's just too early. I want to know, is Robinhood maturing? And this is their way to get more market share and try to capture the excitement of, because they're doing nothing any different than what your employer does with your matching contributions. That's what makes this so powerful. But I need to see a little more history. I need to see a little more that the business model has evolved, because I want to know, are their people the products? In a way that's 35% more than others, that's not a positive thing. Or is this just a moment in time and you just need to be aware of the ins and outs?
We went around and kind of like casually asked a lot of our folks here, hey, are you doing the Robinhood thing? Like, it's free money, are you doing it? And a lot of our folks said, no, I'm not doing it. And we said, why? And this was the general answer that we had. And we even asked some of like our younger, new associates. And they said, I already have a good plan in place. I don't really want to like jack up the plan. I've already got my Roth on autopilot. I'm already doing this. And I think that's great because we know that personal finance is 80% behavioral. So if you're already set up in such a way where you've got your accounts open and you're saving and you're focusing on the things you should be focusing on and you're not majoring in the minors, you're not getting lost in the weeds, I think that's great. I don't think that the Robinhood thing has to be something that you jump on or else you're going to miss out on an opportunity, because I just don't think the opportunity is all that attractive unless you are someone who's thinking, oh, hey, I'm trying to figure out, where do I start? How do I sign up? I know I'm going to buy low cost ETF indices. I'm not going to be trading. Then yeah, maybe it's a great solution. But for folks who already have a plan in place, I don't know that this is going to like be some magical thing that you ought to upset your entire apple cart on just to try to go grab 3%.
Yeah, another thing, they don't offer mutual funds. This is one of those things, if when we turn this into a highlight, if this does well, I have even more thoughts on the behavioral stuff as well as how you use this and some of the risks that also go into gamifying trading or getting you into more complicated products before maybe you even have the experience or knowledge to do it. So if this clip does well, or if you guys think this is something you'd like to do a deeper dive on, let us know in the comments. And great question.